Hello there, I'm Jack Murphy filling in for Greg Everett again for another edition of All American People, coming to you from the WLSC Tiger Radio Studios in downtown Loris. And today we'll meet a man whose memories are truly timeless. That and more on All American People. Well, hello there. Welcome to another edition of All American People. Greg Everett off again this week. That means I get to fill in, and I am so honored to do so. Of course, it was an easy trip for us today because we're where I normally hang out at the WLSC Tiger Radio Studios in downtown Loris. We'll talk a little bit more about what we've got going on here at the Broadcast Center, maybe later on in the show. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from us, though, is a guy who is in the movie-making business.
That is true.
Hello, Dave. Good to see you, friend.
Hey, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Welcome to All American People.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You come in here from time to time and bring me up to speed on what's happening, so it'd be perfect with the cameras from All American People to go ahead and share with the rest of the world. We're glad you're here. Before we get into the movie-making thing, though, what brought you to Loris?
We located here from, believe it or not, from Maui, Hawaii. And
Maui?
Maui, yes, sir.
That's crazy.
Now, you can go ahead and ask the question everybody else asks.
From Maui to Loris, yeah. I came from the beach and people thought I was, displaced. Maui?
Yeah. Well, we drove through.
Aloha.
Aloha, ha, ha. We drove through the little town, Jack, and just fell in love with it. So
really?
We moved here. The timing was right, and we moved here and opened up a small studio. Downtown. We now have another small studio in Myrtle Beach. Well, actually North Myrtle Beach, kind of between the two, over in Myrtle Beach Mall.
Right.
We still run our stuff in Maui. We have a wonderful lady.
How do you do that?
We've got a wonderful lady over there that was with us when we were in Hawaii. Her name is Janet Enda, and she handles things over there for us. And quite frankly, I think my wife Darlene would go crazy without her,
Sure.
helping out. So. That's how we do it. It's take photos, videos, and.
Now you guys have recently gone back to Hawaii.
Yes, we did. We went back to shoot a wedding for some clients of ours, who we had done one of their family members earlier, and we went back to shoot their wedding, and stayed for a couple of weeks. It was a nice vacation, that's for sure.
Now I lost my tan when I moved to the beach. Did you spend a lot of time out on the beaches of Hawaii?
Well, most of our weddings and things of that nature take place.
Not working, I mean like leisure. I mean, isn't it expensive to live in Hawaii?
No, it's kind of like just like you. I mean, you get settled into working and you don't have time to be on the beach.
Sure.
And as far as expenses, you spend your time working, so you don't have time. Yes, it is
don't have time to spend any money?
Yeah, it's expensive over there to live, unfortunately.
Did you leave your car there, or did you bring it with you? I mean,
no,
I'm intrigued
we brought
by
our cars.
That.
We brought a car. Well, we brought one car when we moved over. We brought one car with us. Looked like the Beverly Hillbillies. We sailed into Los Angeles and drove across.
That's crazy.
Ooh, yeah, you got that right.
Now, if you actually ship your car, can you sleep in your car as opposed to like getting a room on the boat? I mean, how'd that work? Or did you go freight?
No, they won't. No.
That'd be what I would think. Man.
No, they won't let you do that.
I'm just going to sleep in my car.
They won't even let you put anything in the car.
Really?
I mean, nothing. You can't have anything clothes, anything in the car.
Get out of here.
Nope.
That kind of defeats the purpose.
Huh. It has to be empty. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
Well, what took you out to Hawaii to begin with? Because you got ties to the Carolinas, right?
That's right. My wife and I both were born in the northern part of North Carolina, and we always wanted to go to Hawaii. And believe it or not, we were down here at Myrtle Beach to got a timeshare thing, and we walked in and we won a trip to Honolulu for a week, and that was all it took.
I got to go back in time because I've never met anyone who actually.
We actually
Myrtle
won.
Beach and did the timeshare thing. I see them all the time, and I know, but I've never met anyone who did it.
Yeah, well, we did.
I would have opted for the television. So you took the trip to Hawaii.
We took the trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we came back, and 5 or 6 years later, we decided, well, let's go. I think one of the producers said something about let's sell everything and go. That's exactly what we did.
Really?
And just went, and it worked out fine. I guess timing is everything.
And still got some tie back in the area anyway with,
Yes.
with the studio in Maui. Huh.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, when you were growing up in North Carolina, were you a photo bug? I mean, did you get the little Kodak Brownie cameras? I mean, did you have an eye? I mean, what did you do?
Actually, my wife was the photographer. She's the one who got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it once I got into it. But to answer your question, no. When I was younger, no. More into cars. The same thing that a lot of, teenage kids are.
Oh, yeah. I'm still into cars.
Yeah. We were into cars, and she got me into the photography part of it. And I kind of branched out into the video part of it. And that's been 30 years.
What was the name of your business in Hawaii? Or was it Timeless Memories?
It was Timeless Memories. It started out as a small photography thing. Darlene had it. It was Frames in Time photography.
Right.
And as it grew and we had the video part and different things went on, we kind of sounded like the old commercial of thanks for calling the so-and-so and so-and-so, all the names of the companies. So we just incorporated everything into Timeless Memories, Inc. And that's where it went from there. So by the time we got back here, it was Timeless Memories, Inc.
Well, technology's changed a little bit since you started. When did you first really open your business? 80s?
80s. 20 years?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
So I'd imagine
Okay.
technology's changed a little bit. I know that on the digital camera front.
Yes, that was a big change. That was a big change. We went from film to, and there's still a kind of genre out there for film because
Sure.
it's a different look, a different thing, and occasionally, even with shooting digital, we get the opportunity to shoot with people that are shooting some of the different types of cameras, panoramic cameras and things of that nature, and they're still shooting film, and we get to shoot with them, and it mixes in with what we do, and it's great. One of the most unique things I've done is I actually shot a wedding where we shot it digitally, and one of the fellows there had an 8mm film camera, a hand crank old film camera.
Good enough.
And he shot different things in there with the film camera. And to put those into the wedding, it just very unique.
I
very
bet it was
different
probably
look.
a neat look.
Yeah, he mixed it in with what we did.
Well, on the video side of things, I mean, you started offering the video production side, and that's something that was really catching on a few years before I tied the knot. You had to have, it used to be the old VHS,
Yep.
get a copy of that, but when the DVD came along, not only was getting it in DVD format, but computers started rolling along, and it made editing, I guess, a little easier.
It made it quite a bit easier in some aspects, especially if you had situations that were not perfect type of stuff where you had to mix it around. Because the old way was you actually set in starts and stops on the timeline, and the machines actually spun from one spot to the other and taped it. Now it's just a matter of cut, click, get rid of it, move it over, and so it made it easier in some aspects.
And there's scenarios where you don't even see videotape at all from start to finish.
That is true. That's true. The newer cameras, the new high definition cameras, a lot of those are shooting on cards that are much like the digital cards in a still camera, just bigger. So yeah, they're going completely. The new stuff's going completely away from film. Well, it has gone away from film, but it's going away from tape altogether. So you're not going to see a lot of stuff on tape much longer.
Are you a purist? Do you hate to see that, or are you challenged? I mean, because there was a lot of talk that folks that were doing wedding photography and wedding video were just going to go by the wayside because you always had, a family member who's out there who's a photo buff. Those didn't always turn out so well, though.
No, we call those the Uncle Marvin films. Uncle Marvin with the
Uncle Marvin,
camera
exactly,
type thing. No, you're always going to have people that want that quality thing, and then you're going to have some that their budgets just won't allow it to be done.
Sure.
So and that's the good thing about the newer small digital cameras, the consumer cameras. People can do those things and still have it for their family, even if they can't afford the larger cameras and so forth. Wedding video is not going by the wayside on that one. Not at all. Not at all. It's a booming industry right now. It's with the new cameras and being able to pull stills from them if you want to, which is kind of a touchy subject with photographers, but it's up and coming.
Well, let's talk about the wedding photography. Obviously, there's more. I mean, because usually around the spring of the year, Easter time, family photo time. Do you guys offer those services? You have a studio here in Loris?
We have a studio here in Loris in which my wife was going to be here, but she's actually shooting Easter photos this morning.
So your wife's working to pay the bills just like mine?
Yeah, she's working to pay the bills while I get to come up here and talk to you, Jack.
I love how this whole thing's working out for us guys, man. Women in the workplace, it's just great for me.
Hey,
I get to play. This is it. This is the hardest thing I'll do all day.
But yeah, the photography part of it, we offer all types of, well, basically any type of photography, we can do it. In any type of photo manipulation, we can do it. So I like to joke around with people and say they won't accept my photos in court because I can change them to the point where
they've been doctored up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can change photos now. That was the major thing that came across with digital photography. Was prior to that, if you had film, if you were not really artistic as far as painting was concerned, you would struggle with touching up photos and things of that nature. But now it's all on the computer, and as long as you are very detail oriented, you can make it happen on the computer.
Well, on the consumer side, I love the cameras and stuff because I always had the red eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like a lost boy meets Children of the Corn in most of the photos my mom took as a boy. I just got those red eyes. But Myrtle Beach Mall comes into play. Now, how long have you guys been down there?
This will be our second season in Myrtle Beach Mall. And the studio down there is much different than the studio here.
Sure.
The studio down there is very beach oriented. A lot of people come in and want family photos, you know, for their beach and things of that nature. It's not as wedding oriented and all as what the studio is in Loris. That studio is, like I said, is very, very beach oriented. So we only open it right now during the tourist season, during the season.
Right.
You know that, how it goes around here.
Sure.
In the wintertime, it just turns into a big display. So we're scheduled to open back up in May over there, May the 1st. We just talked with Kim DeVault and the folks over there at the mall. We're scheduled to open up May the 1st over there. So I'm hoping we'll have another good year. We had a good one last year.
Yeah. Well, it takes your brand out to the tourist market. Which
is very true. More people know about us. Yep, more people know about us. So,
well, in keeping with this, I mean, you're not doing a wedding every day, and you don't have a photo shoot every day, and you're doing some commercial production with your video?
Yes, we do. We do commercials. We've done some local commercials and things, but kind of the short film and film part of it is taken away from the commercials right now.
That's nutty to me. I mean, who knew that was going to be happening? Because, well, we have a film festival here, which is, I think this time of the year is where that kind of pops up somewhere.
It's running this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say the name of the studio or not. I mean, where it's playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Carmike.
It's Carmike Cinema over in Broadway at the beach. It's playing there all of this week until Saturday. I believe the awards are on Saturday.
Right.
You buy a ticket in there, and it gets you the ability to watch 2 or 3 short films and 1 feature film.
Sure.
And these are films from all over the world.
And the organizer of that, I mean, I'm not here to pay him props, but he's got ties to the Loris area as well.
That's right.
It's kind of crazy. So I know all you independent filmmakers are together. Now, what have you done some movies this year? Yes, we have. We've got one in the film festival. We've got another one in the can that did not get into the festival. Not in cans. You just said in the can. In the can. Okay. It's done. Okay. It's done. Okay. It's all done. It just didn't get into the festival. Wow, man, from Loris to Cans. Yeah. Yeah. So it's. I can talk snooty, treat you bad, and speak with a French accent if you want. Fit right in there. Well, what's the one in the film festival about? The one in the film festival is about a couple who is going to the beach, and they stop for directions, and they get some bogus directions. They meet some kind of shady characters. And I don't want to give it away from that point on. They run into some bad things. The name of it is. They must have been really, really lost because as a guy, I don't stop for directions. Well, they don't know their way around as good as you do, Jack. I mean, you know all the little places and all that stuff here. Never admit you're lost. Never admit you're lost. Well, in the film, he doesn't want to admit he's lost, but she does.
And the lady that he's with kind of says, well, let's stop and get a drink. That's kind of the code word for let's stop and get directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they meet up with some shady characters, and a lot of things happen to them. And
What's the name of this short film?
13 Miles to Hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pretty wouldn't want to give that one away either. It sounds like it doesn't turn out well after they stop for that cold drink.
For some of those people in there, it doesn't turn out well. Some of them, it turns out okay.
Yeah.
It's an open-ended film. You can draw your own conclusion as to how it actually ends, so to speak. You know, it leaves a lot of questions at the end of it. It's an open-ended short. That's what it is. It's only 14, 15 minutes long.
How many hours to put together a 14-minute film, though? 2.5?
Yeah. It took us about 2 weeks to shoot it.
Where do you find actors for something like that?
Most of the actors, well, I was lucky enough I had a producer named London DeLeon who has been in several major films and things of that nature, and she got a lot of the actors. A lot of them we just already knew from other experiences. So we just put it together from there. You hold auditions, that type of thing.
Well, how do you work? Do you have meetings with municipalities? I mean, was there anything where you had to shoot down? Shut down Loris?
No, we didn't have to shut down Loris, but we did meet with the town council and all, and we did get permission to have one of the police cars in the film. So that's one thing about Loris, is that they have very much opened up their arms to the film industry.
Okay.
There are several films being shot here in Loris right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Get out of here. Why don't I know of this stuff?
So they have opened up their arms and shooting in Loris, you know, you can be in one spot and it looks like you're in the 40s or the 20s or something, and then you be in another spot, it looks like you're in the 60s. It's just a great place to shoot film. It's just a great place to shoot film.
Good stuff. You got another one that you've got in the can? Tell me about the one in the can.
That's one that's named Jasmine Street. It was co-written by a lady and myself, Angelina Green, who is right now lives in Charlotte. It's about a young girl who gets pregnant. She's in college. She's not married, and it's about some of the trials and tribulations of dealing with the, I guess, for the lack of another term, an unwanted pregnancy. Yeah. Type of thing. But that's what it's about, and she goes through a lot of things with her boyfriend and her family members. I don't want to give it away because it hasn't even been released at all yet. Okay. So, but that's what it's about. Huh. She struggles with that, and some things happens, and we had. There are some things that go on in the film that I did not know were at the time were that kind of taboo to talk about with women until I started trying to cast the lead actor, the girl in the role. Went through 4 actresses before I could get one to play the part. Wow. And I'm glad I got the one I did because she's done a really great job.
Awesome. Now, where do we see these films? I mean, they go straight to DVD. I mean, what happens to an independent film? Who gets to see it?
Well, these independent films, the ones that we're shooting, they go to film festivals. The 13 Miles film has been in the HBO Short Film Festival, and now it's playing here. The Jasmine Street Film Festival, the producers and all want to take it to PBS because of its content. They want to go to PBS with it because they feel like PBS will pick it up. Right. So that's what you do. You pitch it to different people, PBS, A&E, those types of organizations, and see if they'll pick them up. And that's basically what it is. It's an artistic format type of thing. You know, a lot of your major motion pictures, they're made with, we're going to sell them. That's the thought process. These films are made more with an artistic thing so that people that look at it from the we're going to sell them aspect, if they want to change it or change the endings, that's why I stated earlier that the 13 Miles film was open-ended, very open-ended. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Were you writing any other scripts right now? I mean, when did you get into writing screenplays?
I kind of stumbled into it. Angelina got me into writing them.
Sure.
I've got one that we're working on at this time, and I'm talking to a lady in Florida that's going to play one of the lead roles in it, hopefully, if we can get her up here for it. It's concerned. It concerns the way you look at things and the perspective that you look at them, and things. It's a lot of times are not. Yeah, whoever would. A lot of times things are not the way you perceive them. You know, people are not who you think.
The way I perceive.
You know, and so forth, and that's what it deals with.
Yeah, it wouldn't work with me.
It deals with how a small town looks at this particular person in this film, and how that particular person is entirely different from what they perceive.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, I am.
Because it doesn't. I don't buy into that. You know I'm kidding, Dave, because I know you and I can give you a little bit of grief. That's awesome, though, because there is another individual who's writing a movie and has asked me to actually be in it. Funny enough.
Is that there's a film here now that's in the pre-production stages? Is Hope Still? That's
probably it. Yeah. Guy teaches over at Loris.
He teaches over at the school.
Yeah, he was on another show that I'm involved with, and so I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm at this point in my life, I'm all about the money. I'm open-ended, you might say.
Well,
I'm for sale.
If you're trying to do short films, you need to change your whole
attitude. My whole attitude is exactly this way. I haven't gotten back to it yet, so I got to see if I can squeeze him in. Maybe.
But this is a feature film that he's doing.
Yeah,
Henry's doing Henry Parker is the fellow's name who wrote it, and it's Hope Still. It's an inspirational film. I've read the script on it. It's very good. It's an inspirational film, and it's a feature film.
Right.
So he's got a ways to go yet. They're not shooting or anything. I understand. I talked to Henry a few weeks ago at one of the town council meetings, and he's got quite a few actors in line.
So a bunch of movie makers are showing up to town council meetings here in Loris.
That's exactly right. I'm telling you.
I'm missing out on something here, man. This is Twilight Zone stuff. I got to show up, see what's going on.
We've got some stuff going on here in Loris.
I love it.
Yeah. It's like Donkey Kong. You know?
Well, Donkey Kong. Did they make that up there in Wilmington or something? That was Mario, Super Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario.
Anyway, if people want to contact you, what are the hours of operation over Timeless Memories?
7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's how I am, man. Yeah, you're kind of open-ended now that I feel about it.
Yeah, but they can reach us. Phone number 756-3466. You can reach us anytime there. Like I said, we do anything photo, video. We're also planning events, weddings, that type of thing.
Right, sure. From top to bottom, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go out and plan a major stage production for you. That's a different genre thing. But we do plan weddings and so forth. So you can reach us anytime at that number, and we'll be glad to help you.
Well, when you came over here to Loris, you know, you never know what you're going to get into, because my paths have taken many different routes, and I'm over here, and that's what makes life so fun and interesting if you're willing to go with the flow sometimes. But movie making, you never put Loris. I mean, I could see Hawaii. I could see making movies, at least surf videos in Maui. Had you ever even thought of doing that once you got your first video camera? Movies, that's beyond me.
Well, I'd always thought of it, but I've always been a little shy of trying to do it, because there's a lot of technology in it and a lot of things that you don't know until you get into it, so to speak. You kind of learn as you go. But yeah, one thing that makes Loris so attractive is, like I said, it's the people here. I mean, it's a very, very friendly town. I haven't met anyone yet that told me to get out from in front of their store, or they told me, that was rude to me while shooting a film. I just haven't come across it. And, and I've tried to show them as much respect as possible too.
Sure.
As far as their property and all, and that may have something to do with it, but it's just a very friendly town. They're just a very diverse scenes inside the town,
sure,
buildings and props, and that's just stuff you can't get. I mean, you can put it in there digitally in the film, but you can
ain't
see
nothing like the real thing.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
And good seeing you again.
Thank you so
Timeless
much.
Memories. Got a website, right?
Yep, timelessmemoriesinc.com.
All right.
Sounds good.
I appreciate you taking time from your busy movie making career, man. That's awesome. Yeah. I know you're working on some stuff. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, you got a part that pays well. I'm your huckleberry.
I hear you. I hear you.
Thanks for being on All American People. We'll be right back with more. in a moment. From Maui to Loris, Dave and Darlene Munn making timeless memories here in the sleepy little town that we like to call home here at Tiger Radio. Dave and Darlene Munn, part of All American People. I'm Jack Murphy. Greg Everett will be back soon, but I'll probably be back for another episode or two. Thanks for joining us.